Hey, Wanderers, how are you? Something interesting I saw come across my desk today, a little bit older, but do you remember the name Elliott Investments? An activist hedge fund that just took a 10% stake in Norwegian Cruise Lines. So, Elliott Investments, remember them? Remember their name a while back? Remember Southwest Airlines? Elliott Investment Management built a major position recently in Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings and launched what they're calling a Norwegian Now campaign. They believe the company has fallen behind competitors and needs strong leadership and better operations and higher profitability. Now, this is the same playbook they used on Southwest Airlines. At Southwest, remember, they pushed for modernization, assigned seating, premium cabin sections, red eye flights, and some travelers loved that upgrade. I didn't really mind the seat assignments after leaving the Road Warriors Club and losing status. I didn't love the seating, but baggage fees and rising costs created just another airline that I no longer fly loyally. So, what could this mean for Norwegian cruisers? First, there are potential upsides. Elliott specifically called out that Norwegian is underinvested invested in its private island, Great Stirrup Cay, especially when you compare it to Royal Caribbean's Perfect Day at Coco Cay. So we could see a completed pier there, expanded water attractions, and a more marquee destination experience. Now, what I take that as is a way to make more money. While Coco Cay is a great time, and some of it is free, much of the island is an extra cost to use it, and creating in ways just another excursion fee that they get to keep for themselves. They're also pushing for cruise experience leadership, and that could mean smoother operations, better technology, and fewer last minute itinerary changes that we often scratch our heads about. And Norwegian just changed its CEO, and that happened in response to the investor pressure. The new leadership is an interesting choice. He comes from the brands Subway and Burger King, which tells you something else. He's known for changing things. A restructured guy, Chidsey, performance focused operator. He loves to look for ways to change financial discipline and make tighter operations. And that's a clear pricing strategy, stronger margin control. And it also signals that this isn't just a small adjustment, that it's a strategic moment. When leadership changes occur from quick service restaurants, they tend to focus on efficiency, standardization, and revenue optimization. What does that mean for us on the cruise side? Well, hedge funds tend to focus on yield, which means how much money they can make per passenger. And that could lead to more upcharged experiences, leaner staffing levels, and higher base fares, and possibly a shift away from Norwegian's freestyle identity, which we've questioned if they've begun doing with changes to their drink packages. But what's the bottom line? It's not quite time to panic. The cruise industry is strong, ships are full, and demand is super, super high. But this could lead to meaningful changes, could lead to meaningful upgrades as well. But the push for monetization ultimately means it's going to come out of our pocket. So, what does all this mean to you? Well, watch everything that's going on. Pay attention to when your timelines are to purchase certain things because they could be changing that to something different if you don't do it, even though you have a cruise booked. We just saw that with Royals Cup situation if you don't do it by the 15th. That's why having a travel advisor matters. We watch these things so that your vacation stays as smooth as possible and there are no surprises. If you're thinking about cruising in 25 or 26, let's talk strategy before the market shifts again. Wanderers, let's stay wander worthy. We'll keep you up to date on things could change and let's keep an eye on NCL. They're one of the ones that we've begun to travel as a little bit of a loyalist, and we hope the changes don't make that go in a different direction. But Elliot, so far hasn't brought anything that we love. So stay tuned and stay wander worthy.